Hi folks, today we're going to be looking at reading a tape measure. Really handy thing to figure out, especially now while you're young, before you get to being an adult not knowing how to do it. The reason why this is so important is because it does come in handy when you're doing any kind of home renovation, as well as any project around the house. You tend to need to use a tape measure for almost every single thing that you do. A couple things to keep in mind when you're doing tape measure work. 99% of the time, you're going to be using something called the imperial system. So that's like inches and feet. Typically in Canada, we do use the metric system, so centimeters and meters, but when it comes to that kind of project work, we've been using the imperial system for a long, long time. So you do need to know that it's inches and feet. When you're looking at that as well, one thing to keep in mind is the way that we actually write inches and feet. Inches typically can be written as IN, or they can also be written with two lines, okay, up in the top right-hand corner. So I could write 8 inches or 8 and 2 lines beside it. For feet, I would write 2 feet, and FT represents feet, or I can write 2 and 1 dash right up by the 2. So if I wanted to, I could write 8 feet, 2 feet, 8 inches, just like this, or I could also do 2 with a dash and 8 with 2 dashes. Both of those mean the exact same thing. All right, so for this lesson, I'm gonna show you guys just really quickly how to read a tape measure just with the inches part. I'm gonna break this up into really small chunks so it's a bit easier for you to understand each section. So if you look at a tape measure, you're gonna see a bunch of different lines, all with different lengths, and you're gonna see some numbers just at the bottom of it. Those numbers that you actually see on a tape measure, those represent inches. Okay, so you'll see 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, 4, all the way up to however long your actual tape measure is. What that means is from this distance to this distance here, that is exactly 1 inch. So if I'm measuring, let's say, a pencil, and I get it from 0 and it goes all the way to the number that's like 4 or 5, that means that that pencil is 5 inches long. Okay, so you're going to see some problems here where it's going to say, how long is this measurement? So instead of being 0 and 1, it might say 2 and 3. So if I had a line going all the way from here and stopping right above where that 3-inch mark is, that means that whatever you're measuring there is exactly 3 inches. Okay? One thing you'll also notice when you're looking at a tape measure, the lines that are the absolute longest, those are the ones that represent inches. So you can see here, we've got a bunch of different lines. Some are really small, some are a bit bigger, but the largest line always represents an inch. Okay? So that's where the inch mark is. So go ahead, try those problems. If you don't get them, go back, watch this video if need be, and keep going until you get them all right. Thanks.